Good morning to all. Welcome to Laurel Park. Naomi Tucker alongside Keith Fustel. Beautiful day out there again.
How
Fast
about it?
main track. I think we're set for a good day.
Love it. Absolutely. Good crowd again yesterday on tap. Kind of left over from the Thanksgiving card, the great Thanksgiving card. Good crowd yesterday. Hopefully we follow suit again. The handle's been good. The payouts have been good. Yeah, but a beautiful day for racing. A little chill in the air, but it'll wake you up. I'm sure the horses like this temperature.
Yeah, we had a fun couple of stakes yesterday in the Politely and Howard and Sandra Bender Memorial. I got 3 more stakes on tap here again today. I think we start in race number 7 with the Safely Kept Fall, which is the one that we see No, we start in race 6. Excuse me, City of Laurel race 6, Safely Kept race 7, and a Dickie Small in race 8. So look. Plenty of action here. Hopefully, good racing like yesterday. That was quite exciting. We'll talk about that in the lightning round because we have to dissect that Politely stakes. That was truly a horse race. But aside from the stakes action coming your way today, we do have a pair of juvenile events coming up on December the 4th. The Maryland Juvenile and the Maryland Juvenile Filly, both $100,000 for the 2-year-old. Well, Keith, you know my favorite races are those of the 2-year-olds, so I'm very excited.
Absolutely. Leading into the new year, anticipation towards the Derby, obviously the Triple Crown Trail, and we've had some horses of late here kind of get their start and get going in Maryland and do well, have moved on and done all right in a little tougher stakes conditions. But yeah, this will kind of settle the Maryland Bred Championships, I guess, for your 2-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. And we're flying the flag with the Maryland Breds. I'm pretty sure we had a very good year thus far. A couple of Breeders' Cup winners, including the Breeders' Cup Classic winner Nick's Go. So the program has been paying off, and let's hope we've got a couple of more superstars to look forward to. Let's look at the track conditions right now. I was already saying the sun is out. It's a bit chilly, but a fast main track.
43 right now. We'll take it. Absolutely. Fast main track, pretty, I thought of fairly fair recently, the last couple cards. So, yeah, on tap. Times have been quick, and we had some wind 80 opening quarters and halves, and with that breeze, things have kind of settled down a little bit today. But if you can get out here and join us and get out on that apron and enjoy some good live racing, love to have you.
Yeah, there was a good crowd, like you mentioned yesterday. And if you get chilly, you just go inside into the heated grandstand, and then you make your way outside again for the horses parading and then the race, right? I think that's a good routine to follow. I remember when I wasn't working, I used to do that. You have a look at them pre-parading and you watch the race, and then you might go back inside and warm up, get some hot chocolate or a cup of coffee or whatever floats your boat, and continue that routine throughout the day. Now, let's have a look at the 9 races coming up. The first race on the card is the start of the early pick 5. Do believe we have a ticket for this sequence today, courtesy of Tim Tullock. And look at that. He singles in race number 1 on the number 9 Mending, who I have on top as well. I do believe that you have her underneath that. She is my top selection. Gutsy single there. And then he spreads in race number 2, 4, 8, 13, and 14. And then in race number 3, he goes 3 deep using the 3, the 6, and the 7. That optional claim is starter allowance. So those are all my selections as well. Race 4 goes 3 deep again, 6, 8, and 9 in that nickel claimer. And then in race number 5, he finishes things off with the 4, the 6, and the 7, hoping that we're still alive there. $54 a flat ticket cost with a very sort of spreading ticket, aside from that single, that first leg.
I played a middle pick 4. I'm glad I sent you a text. I'm avoiding the second race today like the plague. No thanks, Tim. Thank you for taking over and taking a position in race 2 because I have 0. There you go.
We'll see how it goes, but look, I obviously want to make sure that we get past that first leg. Let's talk about race number 1. Optional claim and starter allowance for the ladies, 6 furlong the distance. Do a video spotlight that includes the number 5 Sunshine and Rainbows and the number 9 Mending, but we'll see Sunshine and Rainbows here first, who broke kind of outwards and then got bumped. She ends up being further back. Now, they did have a strong pace going on there, and it didn't help her that her start was a little bit eventful.
Absolutely. Had the worst of it when you're comparing the trips between Sunshine and Rainbows and Mending. Mending was able to get up towards the lead. Yeah, they went quick. Speed favoring day on the 12th of November. You got to take that into account. And for the Sunshine and Rainbows, the ability to make up ground on this type of surface, I thought that was a really, really good thing. Positive and encouraging. There is some flow in here today. Bourbon Wildcat is a scratch who I thought was going to be kind of up close forcing the issue. But Sunshine and Rainbows, you know what kind of you're going to get. She's going to get that higher 50, maybe touch a 60 buyer figure, can close steadily into the pace. And she has more possessional speed when needed. And she'll have it today, I think, with a better break. Yeah, with a better break.
Yeah. I use Mending on top, though. I think she's going to try and get to the front from that outside draw. She was right on top of those sharp fractions on the day. Takes over around the end of the home tour, just slightly tires. That kind of angle, you know that they're going to move forward from it. I think she's going to do well in here. And look, Tim has her as his single, so vote of confidence right there.
She's going to be up with the lead, but she's going to have to chase, I think, the 6. La Familia was extremely quick last time out of the gate. I didn't really see that race coming at 11-1. Well clear under a steady hand ride, stretching out a 16th of a mile, but we've seen speed be dangerous on this racetrack. Something clicked. Improved stamina off the claim last time out. Increased distance. I didn't see it coming. Maybe she's coming back quick. She'll get a little bit late. I think the road's going to go through her, and I like the price that I'm going to get. I'm going to use Castilla as well. Works either surface. Flow's going to be good. I think, again, should be able to drop in and save some ground and bring a finish here with Pimentel. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this a little bit further later, but possibly the final ride for jockey Julian Pimentel. Here we'll discuss that and more in lightning round. Race number 2 is start of the early pick 4. No early pick 4 ticket for us today. Keith, you were mentioning you find this one a very tricky race to figure out. A maiden claimer, 10,000, 6.5 furlongs the distance. Look, both of us landed on the number 13 on the outside, though. Gold Fellow, long layoff for trainer Claudio Gonzalez, drops back down from the maiden 16. Sharp turn back. He's never gone this distance before, but I think that it could work here for a very sharp outfit and a slew of good works coming into this too.
Lots of time to regroup. The horse showed a little bit of talent on the go back. You're going back to last October 2020, and then off the claim. You don't see horses do this too often when they're claimed by Claudio. Just drop significantly. Nothing there. I don't know what happened, but time to regroup against this field. Might be able to kind of make a steady progression to finish and get up. Baltimore Bud's going to be the speed of the speed, it looks like to me. The one thing positive about Baltimore Bud, he's seen the lead in his races. He knows what it's like to be in front. I think all but maybe one horse has even seen the lead at a point of call in these races. I will use him, and I think the 4. 4's only buyer is a 50, right, on the main track. Good enough for me. Blinkers comes off, comes in light, shortening up. Should make a run, absolutely. Just off the fig. I'm using that one off the fig.
Yeah, well, you were mentioning I've seen the lead. Half the dog has seen the lead as well, and that's a runner I use in my exact. It does have to move that form over to the main track, but like you said, we're at the maiden 10 level. He's shown good form in his last race in that maiden 16, where he's in for the tag 12.5. Look, I'm taking a horse that clearly is doing well at present to hopefully take that form to the main track. Race number 3, optional claimer, starter allowance in here as well. Mile the distance, one turn here on our track. And look, we'll start with your top selection, the 6, because we do have a stat as well on Breviary for trainer Kenny Cox.
Yeah, here we go. Smaller sample. Kenny Cox doesn't have a huge stable, so I like this move. Second off the claim over the last 3 years on the dirties, 3 for 9, 33%, 7 for 9 in the money. This horse, Breviary, likes a mile, 3 for 3. This is what the distance she's going to get today. I think with Unrequited Love and Debord, pace is going to be honest, and this horse I think can make a little progression around mid-turn, have aim top of the stretch. I think he's going to have to maybe fend off or go get I'm Listening. I'm Listening very sharp in latest on that transition turf to dirt and a stretch out. I didn't see that race coming either. It was big. Number comes back good. I think that's a horse as a player because Debord looks like the horse to beat, for Kieran coming off time. She's got some glaring numbers going around a ground, but off time and dealing with a horse like the 2 inside might have to make her work a little bit, but she just might be this good for Kieran and Lopez, who team up at a high rate.
Yeah, and Kieran does well enough with these types off the layoff, but I thought it was a little bit questionable if she was going to return to that form. So I use her on the knees like you did and use the number 3 actually on top. I'm Listening, like you said, she's the one that's going to try and reel in some of the front runners in here, but with that second wire, I always like these kind of types of horses to hopefully get there in the nick of time. Race number 4 is your start of the middle pick 4. Also start of the rainbow pick 6, but you have a ticket for the middle pick 4. How do you play it today?
Not really an easy race to get you started with either. I mean, money's going to come in on Fudge
Good
Cake.
fields today in general.
And I think Wicked Jane. The racing office and Stakes Corner, Marie Kazenka, they've done a great job. We've had a good run of competitive fields. You're seeing it in the payouts. It's a bit of a challenge, but our handle has been up. So, another one. They're behind the scenes. They don't get enough credit. They make it churn. So let's go here. Race 4, 8, 9, and 10 to get you started. Wicked Jane Fudge Cake, My Way or Else, but your price user in there. Race 5, 3 deep again with Hard Fought shortening up for Damon. The 4, Amen Corner, and the 7, Christitude, another one turning back in distance. Race 6, we'll go 2 deep. They're your morning line favorites, Everett Song, and He's My Honey Badger in the City of Laurel Stakes for the 3-year-old boys.
My top 2 as well.
Going 7. Are they? Okay, yeah, they're the horses to beat, no doubt. Good horse race, though. Will the flow kind of help them out? We'll see. It's going to be interesting how these riders kind of make that opening quarter mile. There's not a lot of true speed in there, Naomi. Race 7, 6, and 9. Street Loot, juror number 4. Maybe Brittany Russell can get the better of Jerry Robb today. We'll see. $18 is your ticket.
Yeah, I love Street Loot in that spot. I hope that she gets a cleaner trip than in the Maryland Million Distaff, where she got hemmed in, steadied. Yeah. Very clever right there. Malibu Beauty kind of blocking her in with Hello Beautiful in front of her there. I think today she can do better. I love your pick, juror number 4, though. We'll talk about that in race number 7. Great stakes event. Deep fields throughout the day, including in those 3 stakes races. Race number 4, Nickel Claimer Fillies and Mares, 3-year-olds and up. 6 furlong the distance here. And let's start on the runner that both of us have on top in here, the number 9 Fudge Cake. We look back at her last race. That was in Maryland Distaff starter handicap, and slight stumble, kind of scramble at the start. You can see her just fearing out. Had to try and get position after that. That definitely took a little bit out of her. I think she tired, but I also think that what she's facing today is a lighter group than what she saw here.
Yeah, I guess your main concern is, if you're looking at why the drop? I mean, a good effort in the Maryland Million Distaff starter. After trouble, kind of ground broke out from under, lost footing in front and back, regrouped to show some speed, drop back, and actually keeps on trying and churning to the wire. But here's what I look at. You started a horse for a maiden nickel at the Big T, right, over at Timonium. And this is what you got. This is what you think. You got her in a position to win. She should be forward a long way in this race.
Yeah, I agree with you. Why go down when it seems like she's starting to get better? But, of course, Dale Capuano's doing quite well, and part of that is placing these horses where they have a really good chance to win, and that's the case in this event. You used the number 10, My Way or Else. I didn't get her for Jonathan Maldonado. 2 back a win at Charlestown. Came back with a decent effort behind me, Cleopatra, and I, and Supreme Blessing next time out as well.
She's interesting. I mean, I think she's got, enough kick to make her presence felt late. She's been up close to the pace. She's been a little further back. She's kind of versatile. So things, let them develop. Speed just to her inside. I think she can rally in for a piece. If you're looking for a big price, she should go off at 10, 12 to 1.
Yeah, I'm looking at Wicked Jane to complete my exacta. Steps it up back to this sort of further sprinting distance from that 4.5 at Charlestown. Look, she can gamely run into anything. I think she's going to enjoy these sort of, steps back down to the nickel level after clearing her a non-2 lifetime condition. I think it's a good spot here for Claudio Gonzalez. And JD won on her last time, and I think he gave her a good ride. So I'm hoping he does that again today. And both of us have a slight interest in the number 6, Supreme Blessing. Like I said, is the type that will sit kind of breathing down anyone's leader's neck. She's gonna be right there and try and hold on. We'll take a commercial break, but stay with us. Welcome back to Laurel Park. We're on race number 5. 3 stakes races still to go. Race number 5 claiming 12,500 to 10,000, 6.5 furlongs the distance. We kickstart the late Big 5 sequence. Look, we have tickets galore today. Calais Francois created one for us to cover this part of the card. 3 deep, she goes 1, 7, and 11 here to get you going in that first leg. And then in race 6, the City of Laurel, she singles on the number 7. He's My Honey Badger, a horse that's definitely stepped up, progressed since running second to Everett Song, 2 back for trainer Brad Cox. So gutsy single there. I have him in second. We will see if he's out progressed the a little bit green Everett's Song. Race number 7, she goes 2 deep using the 6 and the 10 there. Of course, Street Loot, we all love her. And then she uses Malibu Beauty to complete her selection there. Race 8, she spreads 1, 3, 4, 7, and 9. And then in race 9, 6, 8, and 10 for a total late pick 5 ticket of $45 flat, which I think is a very doable number. Let's talk about this claiming 12.5 leggy. We got a couple of coupled entries in here. So Callie, you saw she had the number 1, meaning she has that coupled entry. 6.5 furlongs the distance here. We'll start with Hard Fought, who both of I have on the for trainer Damon Delodo Vigo's really geared back into form. Showed last time out to willingly see out the mile. Now slightly cuts back, but he has an abundance of speed to do so.
Yeah, he's got enough positional speed. Last time he was able to kind of get away with it easily on the front end, relaxed, and a 25.49 pace picked up, but really held on well. Turning back Rusty, who came back yesterday to run a good closing third into a field that might have been just a little bit better. It was a 12K starter yesterday. Hard Fought finally got a win on the dirt. Maybe he can pair it up today. There's plenty of speed signed on in the 5th. I like Ruiz to kind of just draft into position, 3/8 pole home. Does he have a big kick sprinting? No, but he might have a grinding type of a run that's just enough to get over the top, because I think there are going to be some embattled leaders from the quarter pole, say to mid-stretch. Maybe this horse can make that run to get over the top.
Yeah, I like that you use Eamon Corner in your exacta as well. I find him a little bit dangerous because in my books, he always kind of runs there, but I wouldn't, it's a little bit hit and miss if he's going to get the win on board, but has been very consistent now since transferring to the Marius Ray Jr. barn here. He was, running at the higher levels in the past, but now kind of has found his group here and has been doing very well racing frequently. I used the number 6, Get Off My Back, for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. Subpar performance last time out. Looks to return to form. Tries to do it against perhaps a little bit of an easier group. You're looking at Rookie Salsi was up against WW Springtime. Stroll Smoking is in here too, but those are not the easiest of horses.
Yeah, Stroll Smoking, I believe, is out of here, right? Did I get that right?
I believe he was a stretch, actually. That was my bad, just seeing the byline in there. Yeah,
that's
Stroll
all right.
Smoking not lining up in here.
Okay, but I thought he was going to be part of that flow. I was hoping him to stay in. If you're going to get Claudio at a price here, I think off of that last race, the bettors will come off of the 6, Get Off My Back. The Barn and the Jock hasn't really lit up the world as of yet. Avello gaining experience each and every ride. But you're right. I think things are going to develop okay, and you get that opportunity to get Claudio at 8, 10, 12 to 1. You've got to use. And Chrisitude for Jamie and S. Another one.
What do you make of him?
I just think he wants to sprint. You see the 2 routes that are on the page that I have, they're both bad. Okay, this horse is a sit and make a run kind of a horse. He'll be able to get that trip today with the likes of Federal, Mr. Pete. Rockenfeller's extremely fast from the outside. He really was used hard last time, but held well. If he's aggressive again and clears, he's another one at a price could hang on for a piece if this track keeps playing towards speed. But I'm going to center around the 2, 4, and 7, top and bottom. Hopefully we'll get a fair price on all 3 of those.
Yeah, I was looking at the 7, wondering if he'd come back with some of those really high figures. I mean, winning at allowance level, both at Delaware and at Park. So based on that, he stands over them here. But I definitely feel like perhaps the bettors will look at that last race and kind of take a bit of a wait-and-see approach here. But you're right. I think he's way better just going a touch shorter than what he
don't
went.
want to go long, it looks like. Yep.
No, he does not. Race number 6 is the first of our 3 stakes event. 7 furlong the distance. The City of Laurel for the 3-year-olds. And this is a fun field in here. Kali has a single on He's My Honey Badger. Let's look back at when Everett Song and He's My Honey Badger bumped heads in the Harrods Creek Stakes at Churchill Downs. And you can see Everett Song had a wide draw. It was mid-pack, sees a bit of daylight, has to fight for it. A little bit green still, kind of quite hanging a fair bit, but does get the job done. And He's My Honey Badger kind of just a touch further back than Everett Song was.
Yeah, this is an interesting setup for this race today because there's not a lot of true speed signed on. You've seen a horse like He's My Money Badger run a little closer to the pace. Now he's kind of changed tactics a little bit, taken further back. Everett got the jump on them there, right? A little green. They had a great setup. Both of them did. 21,
Yeah.
44 and change. You see the fractions. They were rolling, and it looks like they were in a better part of the track. Got outside and went on with it. Everett, both of these horses, they've worked forwardly to this race. Multiple works coming in, sharp works. They've got quick turns of foot. These are perfect 7/8 kind of horses. Tough to separate, in my opinion. I'll kind of stay with the home horse, maybe Everett Song.
Well, I'm staying with Everett Song also. I think perhaps everyone's going to look at Brad Cox. The money will pour in on He's My Honey Badger. Everett Song, a little bit more green, but talent-wise, show that he's capable of topping He's My Honey Badger. Does have to take that next step in terms of being a bit more professional, not moving in so much down the lane like he did. He's My Honey Badger has jumped up to that next kind of level with that win in the Purleyville at Keeneland next time out. So it's kind of like, do you take the horse that's already showing to be up there for a really strong barn, or do you go with the horse that perhaps has a bit more raw talent still? It's a bit of a question mark, isn't it?
I think, you make a great point. The 7 got that race again at Keeneland. Everett Song, they gave a little bit more time. And reading the press releases and stuff Phil Janak and the whole team put out, noticed that the horse kind of lost a little weight. He just really wasn't himself after that race at Churchill, the shipping and everything. Boy, he looks like he's come back now. They say he's doing good. He looks the part, and you can tell by the works that he's back on his game. So sometimes they ask a little bit too much sometimes.
Yeah.
This horse showed the ability to get over the top. That was great as a horseman to give the horse the time to regroup and get himself back together again. I think you got to use the 9. I like your horse a little bit. Picking time. Maybe he's the one that kind of gets the jump on these two closers, because I think he might have just a little bit more positional speed.
I agree with you, and has been campaigned at the higher graded stakes company as well. Did get toppled by He's My Honey Badger, but that was when he was a little bit further back, didn't switch leads. I think normally this 3-year-old is a bit more professional, so I'm looking for him to return to that form. Race number 7, the Safely Kept, the 7-furlong race for the 3-year-old filly. So same distance, same kind of conditions aside from them being for the females in here. And look, I landed on Street Loot. I think this is going to be her race. Let's hope that this time around she doesn't get hemmed in. She gets a cleaner trip. I thought it was a great example of race riding. She was stuck behind Hello Beautiful. Malibu Beauty kind of hemmed her in a little bit there with Jaime Rodriguez aboard. I thought that was good. That's the kind of that's the kind of tactics that we're here for. I still think Street Loot is a touch better, so I use her on top. Malibu Beauty in second, but I do like juror number 4. Let's look back at that video spotlight where she had 127 days away from the track, and she comes back with just a dominant, lovely move here around that home turn. Toledo had horse. You can actually see him look back at, I think, just at the top of the stretch. He's still next to other horse, but he looks back thinking, look there, is anyone coming? Because I've got plenty left here, and she just kicks.
Takes a little peek back and says, and the perfect kind of spot to get her back on her game, to get the confidence up. Back to the sprint, catches a state bred A other than. You had a horse, Factor in Heat had come off a good race, but this is a dominant performance. Very relaxed around the turn, and look at the run through the wire. This horse is running, no let up whatsoever. Yeah, she's finished behind Street Loot a couple times. That was without Lasix. She's got Lasix now. This is the price. I'm going to key around her as the price play. I think she has room to make that next step. Street Loot, she's really, really good. No doubt about it. And her and Malibu Beauty may have a little bit of an edge from a pace factor in here, looking how things are really going to develop, with obviously the 7 being out. Things might be a little bit more comfortable. Juror number 4, she's going to bring a run from just off of it. We'll see.
I think juror number 4 would have preferred if Princess Coco would have stayed in here for that pace angle. But I still think that possibly Malibu Beauty might want to move forward. Street Loot, take a nice sort of sit close to it. And as long as they don't go too fast for them, it works out. But juror number 4 wants them to go a bit more forward. So it'd be interesting to see how that pace heats up.
I agree. This is going to be a good horse race. I don't see anybody really running away with it. Bella the Norse is another one. Ran a big race. Moquist was able to kind of just lead all the way last time out after early trouble. Made a strong run. She's a developing filly here for Corrales in the barns, doing okay. Had a winner yesterday. So, that's my value play. I got to go with this. I don't like. Now we're not going to get the 12-1 because of the scratch. Maybe we're going to get the 12-1 prior, but she still should slip away, I think, in that 6-1 range.
Yeah,
You know,
I
would take
agree
him a
with you,
shot.
and I think it's a fun race coming up. The final stakes race on the card is the Richard W. Small Mile, and an eighth for the 3-year-olds and upwards. Let's talk about Shaq Queen King. Both of us have him here as the horse to beat. Let's look back at his last race, because since the slight break that he was given by trainer Gary Capuano, he has come back swinging. Absolute superb form. Slight bump out of the gates on the day there at Delaware, but got himself into a great spot behind the leader. And look, easy move past that foe. The race was kind of over. Looks like he's in hand and just goes away with it.
Yeah, and boy, does he get a great draw with his speeds just to his inside. He's able to relax, and quick pickup on him. Okay, he was gelded after that break, right? During the break.
Yep. I think he
First
was,
time gelding, 2 races back. We see the development, what he's moving into the racehorse that they thought, they could get. He ran big on the go back and can handle a battle up front. I just think it's all systems go again. He's going to use that stalking speed, stalk and pounce kind of move. Gary Capp, 29% with a $6 ROI. Dirt routes, third off of this type of layoff. Yeah, Shaq Queen King, he's going to be tough from just off of it. I see him 1-2 in here.
Yeah, I think Gary Capuano's got a good hand in this race. He also has the number 1 Tapping Cat, who I have in my exact, narrowly edged out of a Maryland Million Classic win, but before that Governor Day handicap victor. Just another now horse that really is firing on all 4 cylinders. But you use the number 9, the Jimmy Toner trained Mischief of Foot as your exacta play here. A bit more of a closer to try and take advantage of the flow.
Yeah, we're at a mile and an eighth. There's some serious speed kind of signed on in here. And working on the dream, I'm assuming he's going to do it. He's got to go ahead and go and try to steal. Tapping Cat ran great against the bias last time. A valiant effort. He'll move into it again, and he'll fight. I just think if things kind of get really interested and heated up from the 3/8 pole, say to the quarter, then you'll see a horse like Mischief Afoot ramping up, Cord Maker ramping up together, maybe 6-7 lengths out of it, and making that progression into a Cord Maker as steady as they come. He just kind of runs his race every time.
How lovely would it be to see him get the victory, the veteran runner? He turns up every now and then. He runs his race. If he gets a good trip, he's right there.
Yeah, you look at some handicap, he just runs that same race every time, numbers-wise. He's really consistent, and I think he'll sit mid-pack a little further back than what he did last time on a track that was playing speed. He kind of forced him, was up a little bit closer. I don't think he's going to be, right up with him. I'd rather see him 3 or 4 out of it into the far turn and then making the move from there.
Yeah, it's a fun race to close off the stakes races on the day. Nightcap is race number 9. Nickel claimer here, 3-year-olds and up. Never won 3 or 3-year-olds claiming 6 furlong the distance there. Look, I have a little price play on the number 5, My Candy Biz. I think she's better sprinting. Her best figure came at Delaware, going 6 furlong, closing into a slow pace, still making up plenty of length. So I'm keen around that race. If she comes back to something similar there, hopefully slips away a bit unnoticed in comparison, and we have a little price play on our hands.
Yeah, you've got the 7 in the mix as well. I think Gator 52 again was kind of against the grain of the racetrack on the 21st with speed was good. First off the claim for Silliman is again, you've got Distant Thunder, very quick. Isabella's Magic, I think, will be forcing it. Natty Bow again will be up forward along with Dejan. So there's your price play. Big effort, a couple races back at a big price. You use that one. Natty Bow clearly, I think, is the horse to beat. Dropping back off of that race last time, just couldn't make up any ground on the sloppy surface. So yeah, 7-6-4. I like your pickup on the 5. You're right. That's exactly what I have on my notes. Better sprinting. A little drop should pick this horse's head
I feel
up.
that this is the type of field to go with these kind of price plays, that you just kind of see move back to conditions that are a bit more favorable for them as we get going with lightning round. Trying to dissect here the Politely Stakes, and the race seemed to be won in this first quarter, didn't it? You can see Hello Beautiful on the rail, Princess Cochin are outside, both going for it.
And you talked about it, you made a good point earlier, what are going to be the tactics to win the race, right? And that was it. Quick out of the gate, both of them, but you could tell Princess Cochin was just going a little bit better. Favorite was not quite comfortable, had to steady back and then kind of check into the turn, and it was over. Good ride here by the X-Man to play that part, aggressively ridden, And yeah, and again, here we go. The fillies and the mares again for Jerry Robb. Princess Coco-Chan, knockout punch. I mean, this was big. And how about for the bridge jumpers? They took a hit. I hope, you've got to realize that as a gambler. My man Willard up there, obviously he bet the horses all to show. You see that happen, take advantage of it. You're going to make money over time. You can't be beat with that angle. So there you go. Big payouts. I think Paisley Singing was like $50 in the show hold.
Wow, wow. I think, what was it, Princess Coaching, $14.40, I think in the end she returned as well. Big price there. Terrific effort from the Jerry Robb stable, the X-Man on board. So congratulations to all of them on a big victory here. And then in the Howard and Sander Bender Memorial, we had a tight finish. It really came down to it. You see 4 deep here. Youngest of 5, Galerio, Air Togan, and Where She Told Me to Go. The latter ended up out on top, but look at youngest of 5 here in front right now.
Yeah, a little drift, 8th pole, a little drift against 16th pole. We did have a trainer's claim of foul that was turned away. Yeah, youngest of 5 ran like I thought he would get to the lead, and he was dead game. Where She Told Me to Go. Really good, consistent horse, and knows where the wire is. He wins a lot. He really relaxed well outside and sustained. Double Crown, again, with a little bit of a trouble beginning. You saw him flying late for Amos. He just needs that good start because he was really making up some ground that last 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah, it seems like he's now getting into a pattern of perhaps not being as sharp out of the gates. Now, you just don't really get away with those higher levels with doing so. If you're missing out by 2-3 lengths and then you come running down the wire, but you don't get there in time, oof, I dare say they probably bring him back to the gate and see what they can do with it for, an elite level barn, the Tom Amos stable. As our final lightning round point, this just came in today that quite possibly jockey Julian Pimentel might have his last ride in the first race today on Castille for King Leatherbury. And we're just looking back here at his last stakes victory in the Nellie Moore Stakes on Lucky Stride. It was told by agent Ronnie Gerardo that he'll be taking a break, spending some time with family, and see how he feels in terms of his weight as well coming back. It's not easy to keep those weights down as a jockey. I am not envious of the lengths they have to go to keep themselves riding at these lower weights.
Julian's been steady, year in and year out, consistently the top jocks in the country in earnings. I looked up, obviously, his runs with Ben's Cat. When he was 16% over his career so far. That's
very,
solid.
Very solid.
And he's been a money rider, riding big in stakes races. Ronnie Girardi talked about his age, and they've teamed up and done a really good job year in and year out. So yeah, hopefully, after that little break, he'll get everything straight and get back. But it is tough with the weight and everything to kind of keep it going. But he's had a good run.
He has indeed, and of course we'd love to see him back after that little break. But do keep an eye out for Julian at his possible final ride. We say that with an asterisk next to it, and hope to see him back, and at least wish him a lovely holiday as well. We all deserve a break, especially had such a good and strong run throughout his career, and no doubt we'll see him again on the backside as well. That concludes the morning show for us. I'll be back trackside. We have Tim Tulloch and Callie Francois down in the studio to guide you through today's action.
All righty. Good luck.